Congratulations. That was like a really shitty clap. And that was a really loud clap. But congratulations, Neil. Well done. 6 days. Now, presumably more, hopefully. But definitely a big congrats to you on that. Things I need to cover. I'm sorry I didn't ask a question. I was in a rush, and I was all flabbergasted, and I was trying to just figure out, bam, 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 stuff I needed. But I will think of one. Maybe. Look what I got. I got to see this in widescreen, and I watched it with my girlfriend, and we did sort of a review movie. It didn't turn out as well as I wanted, but I'm going to do more of it, and I'm not going to do the first review. So Jake or Neil, you guys can kick the reviewing off, and I will post my movie after you guys have decided that we're going to start doing the review. Yeah. Batman question. I've never read The Killing Joke. The only comics I've read are like one Silver Surfer episode or comic book, and then some Spider-Man comics and some Scarlet Spider comics that my older brother had, and Watchmen, all of Sandman, some Johnny the Homicidal Maniac, and a Jurassic Park comic, and I think a Star Wars comic as well. Those are back home, but I can show you those, and they're really silly. Another time. But I did watch the cartoon, and I watched the cartoon A Fair Deal when I was younger. And, Heath Ledger versus the cartoon Joker. I think the cartoon Joker would think that Heath Ledger's Joker was crazy. I'm not going to get into which one was the real Joker, as Jake's friend did. But I think that like, he would, he's much more of a jovial character and certainly more physical and comedic humor in what he does. Not to say that he isn't pure evil, because he is, but, I guess I was watching a cartoon show, so, they certainly were like, his plans would go awry and he would be like frowny face, and, they'd play that music that they play when things go wrong. Whereas Heath Ledger would just kind of be like, I'm going to blow up a hospital, which I don't think the Joker in the comic or the movies would do. I understand that the Joker in the comics was much darker and was like really, like truly crazy insane, whereas I don't know. I don't have as good an opinion. I'm sorry, but that's I think that if there was like a versus match between Heath Ledger and the other Joker, I don't think Heath Ledger would have the attention span to actually go after the other Joker. He wouldn't like listen unless the other Joker really tried hunting him down. In which case, given the amount, and like, this is the one thing about the movie. If you saw Batman Begins only once or twice, watch it again, because the amount to which the Heath Ledger Joker plans in advance, for as ridiculous as he is, every single thing that happens in that movie he planned, according to the way that the movie presents itself. And it's just such an unbelievable, like, and I don't mean that in a good way. I mean, like, it's really hard to believe that he planned all that shit out. And so I don't think that in the game of killing each other chess, I don't think the cartoon Joker could beat Heath Ledger's Joker in terms of planning. So that's where I'm at with that. Burn After Reading. I have a copy of it that I'm going to watch, so we can all talk about that too sometime. I'm not suggesting that as my suggestion for the movie review, because I have other suggestions, because I have other movies that I want to make you guys watch. I keep on looking at myself. I should move the screen so that I can't see myself. Waking Life. I hated that movie. That was the most pretentious film I have ever seen. It was just personal philosophy after personal philosophy just kind of thrown at you, and I just didn't like it. I'm sorry, Jake. Maybe you liked the animation aspects of it. I really was thinking, all right, this is kind of cool animation, but ultimately I'm just getting a lot of bullshit philosophy that I did not care for, and it was just sort of overwhelming in not a good way. Not sort of an overwhelming as in I didn't get it all. It was overwhelming as in I thought the film was full of itself. And generally a good way to figure out the pretentious people in high school was the people that liked Waking Life. And if, once again, sorry, but that's the way of it. Influences. My good friend, Stephen Holte, he's a grad student at Brown right now in computer science, and he is he was my best friend through high school. He's still one of my best friends. I don't know if he considers me one of his best friends, but that's sort of the way our relationship works. But definitely any sort of programming issue, like my understanding of what good code is and what good design is comes predominantly from what I've learned from him and working with him. Generally, like when he decided that he didn't want to get a PhD, he wanted to get a master's, and he was going to rather maybe try to do some video game programming career style things. That made it okay for me to consider video game design as a career, which is still in my mind okay for me to do. I don't know if I'm going to pursue it, but it's on the table. So he's sort of definitely a person in that respect. Other people that I guess I don't. You say influences. This is more people that I idolize, I guess. Feynman, who's just kind of a general all-around genius, and Da Vinci, once again, engineer. Feynman, more of a physicist, scientist, but still lock picks, that sort of thing. Safe breaker. A lot of interesting side hobbies that I've picked up that I just really like the stuff they've done. I do some stuff artistically, but I don't show it generally, and I certainly don't look at other people's work and then try to incorporate that into mine. So, yeah, I used to do some video films related stuff, but most of it was kind of like on par with most of the shitty anime music videos you see on YouTube, so pretty lame. I covered everything. Shit. Oh, I'm going to upload. I took some video of my robotic cockroach leg, actually semi-working. I'm going to take more video when it works more, but I'm going to try to load that on my channel at some point. I'm so behind on the Antarctica stuff, and I've just kind of stopped uploading on my channel. And I need to start that because it's lazy, but I've been starting the semester off, and I have really had no time. I this entire day from about 1:15 till 9:30, I have been busy, just straight in classes. I had about 20 minutes to eat dinner when I ran home and cooked some old pizza and ate it, and then ran back to the quads. I've been very busy. What is the worst movie you have ever seen? The absolute worst film you have ever seen. And this can be like either the lowest rated film on Rotten Tomatoes worst, where everyone thinks it's awful. You don't even have to think it's awful. It's just legendarily bad. Or you can really just think it's one of the worst movies ever. My movie, it's not Waking Life, as much as I wish it was. It would be The Six String Samurai. And it is a campy film. It's a cult classic, I think is the only way to describe it. It was shown at our on-campus theater, which we can go to a movie for $3 on the weekends for. It was shown a couple of years ago, and I went with some friends, and no one would sit through it. Every single person walked out of that film except for me, of the people I knew. I was left sitting alone, and I just stuck to it and watched the film, and I got what they were getting at. It was like a Buddy Holly samurai musical influences thing with some weird Cold War undertones that was just sort of funny, but not really. It was, you had to get it, I think, and you had to be with the right group of people. But nobody in the theater did, and it was just painful. So yeah, that's what I'm going to say on that. Although, there have been other awful movies that I've seen, but that's the one that comes to mind, so let me know what you think for your worst film.